Hey everybody. Yeah, posting a lot of videos today, but this one's a little different. I just got done having a conversation with a friend of mine that I trust, and I want to talk about abuse. Uh, this is appropriate to talk about before Corona, during, and after. But um, sometimes when it comes to helping ourselves, if we don't know that our normal is not normal, we don't know how to ask for help. And I've said this before, but one of the ways that we ask for help is the stuff that we find ourselves doing or looking to do. Like some people become police officers or doctors, nurses, therapists, coaches. Like people become all kind of different things to help other people. Oftentimes because they need help themselves, and that's the best way they know how to ask for help, is to start looking for how to become the help that they needed. So I just wanted to talk for a second about abuse. You don't have to be in situations that you don't want to be in. And it's funny, in relation to that phrase, you don't have to be somewhere you're not comfortable being. Oftentimes, someone who's having a hard time understanding that they're being abused and that they don't have to put up with that, will come up with any number of responses in relation to that. Well, they don't mean to, but this. And I just want you to know, it's honest if somebody doesn't mean to. Someone cannot mean to be abusing you, whatever that means, and you still don't have to be there. So people can mean well, and it can still be abusive. So I think I'm just wanting to express this to everyone. People in your world could mean the best and still abuse you. They can take away consent. They can put you in situations that you're just not comfortable in. Think about it this way. If there's a little person in your world and you love them and you want to do the best for them, and they don't know how to speak up for themselves, and you'd like to try to help them find their words and tell somebody, please don't do that. If it's okay for that little person to tell someone else, hey, I don't like you to tickle me, or I don't like you to pick me up or hug me, I'm uncomfortable when you do this. If it's okay for that little person to say that, it's okay for you too. So I just wanted to work through this a little bit. You know, I know one of the narratives growing up in the South where there's maybe a presumption of familiarity with Christianity, one of the narratives is when someone does you wrong is to turn the other cheek. And I'm not criticizing that narrative as much as I would want to bring to attention that that is not an excuse to believe that you deserve to be in an uncomfortable situation. If you're in a situation with somebody that is uncomfortable to you and you don't know how to make sense of what, not having to deal with that looks like, you don't have to figure all that out until you can speak up and say, hey, this is uncomfortable, I need some help. This is difficult because some of the things we do in our society to offer help includes social work. And if you've had to deal with that, oftentimes our programs are less than perfect. Another way to say that is less than relational. Sometimes government programs that are meant to do the work that we as a culture are trying to do but aren't doing as well as we could. The idea of going and putting up with someone who's working with a program to help you is difficult. And at the same time, if you're in a situation that you're not comfortable in, it's okay just to say, I'm not comfortable with this. And another way to frame it is, if somebody else is insisting what you ought to do and it just makes you uncomfortable, here's a framework. Why is it important for them that you be uncomfortable in order to do what's right? That's a good question to ask. It sounds like it's important for you that I do ... Some people frame that as though it's like it's doing God's will. Like you're going to dishonor God if you don't stay in the situation. You're going to dishonor your family. You're going to dishonor your friends. And I just want to say there is no situation you have to stay in and be mistreated. And again, it kind of hurts my heart because I realize I'm being quite forward about some of this stuff, but I also have a lot of understanding of how some people just don't know any different. I think a lot of the stuff that I've been working on, I'm not done healing, don't mean to suggest that. A lot of stuff I've been trying to heal from in my life is not stuff that anyone meant to do to me. I believe that people were trying their best and it still spread their pain from their own childhood onto me. And this isn't like specific to anyone. It's just, you've heard me say people remind me that I'm Gabriel by the way they interact with me. I don't know, people spread their pain without meaning to. And that's still not a reason for you to stay in a situation that you don't feel comfortable being in. So I think I just want to say, even if you don't know how to reach out or how to make it all work, if you're in a situation and you feel like someone's pushing their idea of what's best for you onto you, it is okay to reach out to someone and say, I'm not comfortable with this. Can you help me think of some options? And in that world of thinking about trade-offs, if staying in the situation you're in is better than the social work, the best way I know how to think about that, and it almost can feel unmerciful, like, Gabe, I've got to choose between that. I've got to choose between what's familiar with me right now and the unfamiliar situation that feels impersonal. It's unfamiliar. I've got to choose between these two. I just want to say, you don't have to figure out all of your better path forward just to tell yourself it's okay that this makes you uncomfortable. You don't have to figure out the path forward. It's enough to just tell yourself, I'm uncomfortable with this. And even if somebody means well, I'm not okay with this. Not okay with this mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm not okay with this. So yeah, mercy. I just think I need people in my world to know I believe this stuff is real. People do get abused. And on the other hand, I have a complete imagination that it's not always something that's meant. But I just have to say, like, if all the good we do in this world is by accident, that kind of scares me. I think the good that comes about in this world is on purpose. And so the good of admitting to yourself that you're somebody in this world that deserves to be comfortable where you're at is part of being on the road to making boundaries for people who don't know how to be healthy and be safe for other people because of their own pain and their own wounds. Kind of like victim blaming, the idea of blaming the victim goes back to those people who become abusers. If they've gone through something in wartime or emotional chaos growing up or their household, if they've gone through a difficult time and it's not their fault that they don't know better ways of relating to other people, I don't blame them for not knowing better, but I have boundaries to keep their pain from destroying me. And so the point of all this is to say, not everybody knows how to take what they've felt in pain and not spread that on other people. And I just have to say, like, I've been through my own pain, and I know I've been part of people being uncomfortable in my own life. But at the same time, this idea that you have to stay in that, I'm not okay with that. So on the one hand, you could admit that somebody's gone through something difficult and you understand why they're behaving poorly. But the reason why we need boundaries is so we don't let the way they're dealing with their pain destroy us. it's loving to see that those people need boundaries for the people who spread their pain on them as well. So this was a really long one, more serious than usual, but I hope it helps. Listen to this again if you need to. Watch it again, and I don't know all the resources, to be honest with you, but maybe the best resource you need is just to begin with, is just please hear me saying, if you're uncomfortable in a situation because of how someone's behaving, there are options. Even if you don't know what they are and you don't know how it's going to change your life, there are options to pursue. And the first step is just telling yourself it's okay that you want to be comfortable. And it's okay that it's okay to feel uncomfortable with that behavior. Your body's telling you something. So I hope this helps. My best.